me, in the chat, and go ahead and put your affirmation in there and let me know what city you are zooming in from. Go ahead and put your affirmation in the chat and let me know what city you are zooming in from. All right, all right, all right, all right. I see Cleveland, Ohio in the house. Polk, Louisiana is here. Okay. All right. Columbus, Ohio is in the house. Guys, I tell you what, we got an exciting call on tonight, and over the this past weekend as well. We've had some great things happen with the BYOB movement in Mississippi as well as Milwaukee. So listen, nothing but great things are happening. Great announcements are taking place. But we're super excited about the work that's being done, the lives that are being changed. And nothing less than that is going to happen on tonight with our very own pit master, Miss Tanya Anderson, who I will introduce in just a few moments. But in the meantime, continue to put in where you're calling from. All right, Milwaukee, Doc. All right. And put your affirmations in there. I am a BYOB master trader. All my trades end in profit. I am the signal. I am 777. I'm an educated trader. All right. I'm a BYOB average breaker. I am my own bank. I know that's right. So go ahead and put in there where you're zooming in from, put in the city that you're zooming in from, and we're going to get started in just a few minutes. Listen, you still have an opportunity to also text a couple of folks or your business partners, let them know that we're jumping on, that we're on now, and we're going to get started right at 9 o'clock. So go ahead and do that while we are still holding on. But in the meantime, continue to put in the chat your affirmation and what cities you're calling from. I mean, they're coming in from all over. And I'm telling you, this movement, the best is yet to come. If you were on the other announcement that was made by our founder, you will know why we are so excited. And this is a worldwide movement. It reaches beyond the United States, guys. We've got folks from all over the world that are part of this movement. And our founders and our pit master, who's going to be speaking on tonight, Miss Anderson, Tasha Anderson, the trade whisper. And then we've got our very own financial banker, our financial doctor, Dr. Bythwood is on. So we're excited, guys. We're excited about the movement and what's taking place. I'm praying that you all have a nice holiday that's coming up, but the education does not stop. So we're going to get started in here in a couple of minutes. So like I said, go ahead and let me know what cities that you're chiming in from. Go ahead and put your affirmations in there. I see Toledo, Ohio, Las Vegas, UK. Again, Milwaukee is in the house as well. All right. So guys, we're going to get started here within the next couple of minutes. And if you're like me, I know you're super excited. And so go ahead and like I said, text a couple of your folks, let them know which city. I mean, let them know that we're getting started at 9 o'clock and that they need to jump on. Cleveland, Ohio. All right. Lonnie Reed is on. And again, guys, this is the BYOB, Be Your Own Bank movement, changing lives, changing generations. And we're changing one family at a time. The goal is to reach 2 million families by March of 2020. So we've got some work to do, but the work is being done. And it's calls like this, Zooms like this, educational platforms like this that allows us to continue to grow and to be everything that we know that we can be. Listen, it is 9 o'clock, and I'm not going to hesitate to get you to get started, but I want to introduce tonight to you all our very own pit master, Miss Tanya Anderson. But let me just tell you a little bit about Miss Anderson. She's been featured in the Success from Home magazine, not one time, not 2 times, not 3 times, not 4 times, not 5 times, but over 10 times she's been featured in the Success from Home magazine. She's led an organization of tens of thousands of independent business owners. Her business itself, listen to this, her business generated over $75 million in sales, putting her in one of the top 1% money earners worldwide. She's a business coach. She's a customer acquisition specialist. She is the former president of the Business Network International. She's been recognized by the Ohio Chamber of Commerce as Networker of the Year. She's been featured in the Cleveland magazine this year in 2021. She's billionaire bound. She's a single mom. She loves helping people. She loves making sure that we get 100% of all the information, but she is our BYOB pit master. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to stand to your online feed, and I want you to give a hearty array for our very own pit master, Miss Tanya Anderson. Miss Anderson, if you're there, It's your
Yes,
show.
yes, yes. I am here. I'm here. Thank you so much, Pastor Washington, for that amazing introduction. I am just grateful and thankful to have someone like you say those kind words about me, because everything you described about me, I could definitely turn it back on you. I mean, this is a gentleman who is a pastor of a church. He is an author of a book entitled Let Average Go. What does that mean? That he is well above average. He's helped countless people have success because of his vision of that. Ladies and gentlemen, he has presented at the Essence Festival. He has presented at the White House during the Obama administration. He's had a stellar career in corporate America, and he is our Let Average Go coach, our personal growth and self-development guru that we have access to because we are a part of the Be Your Own Bank movement. So if you have an opportunity to work with him, just know he loves to have a good time. He's wise beyond his years. He knows all the information on helping us advance our spirituality. And so we don't take you for granted. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I'm excited to be on the line today because we have master traders on the line. We have people who are taking their lives, their generations, their communities, their states and countries to the next level. And so if you were able to join us and this is your first time on the call, I want you to drop a 111 in the chat. If this is your first time here, you're new to the call, drop a 111 in the chat. And if you're still learning how to trade, how to master your skill set, drop a 222 in the chat. Drop a 222 in the chat. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And if you were able to cash out earlier today, drop a 777 in the chat. And if you are compounding your way to six figures in 6 months, drop a 888 in the chat, right? So this is our BYOB Basics call. And ladies and gentlemen, I couldn't be more grateful. We had a phenomenal event in Milwaukee this past weekend. There was a phenomenal event in Mississippi, in Sumner, Mississippi this weekend on the same day. It was a historic event. Why? Because in Mississippi, the event was held where Emmett Till's trial was, and then they had an opportunity to actually visit the hotel where Martin Luther King was assassinated. And he was assassinated because he and Malcolm X began to talk about economic empowerment. So how historic is November 20th, 2022, when we had expos going on in the Midwest and in the South, carrying the torch of Martin Luther King's dream. And then we had a woman, we had Elder Elizabeth Reed, Brownlee Reed, talk about how she marched with Martin Luther King, right? And the camaraderie that was there. She said that there's an anointing within Be Your Own Bank because of what we're doing. And so we are blessed to be able to even gather on the Zoom line and carry forth this movement. We're moving the dream forward. So we need to feel honored. And this is the week of Thanksgiving, right? So we are gathered here at the Be Your Own Bank table with our Be Your Own Bank family, right? We're eating tonight. We're going to enroll. We're going to advance our skill set, and we're going to trade our way to wealth. So we're eating tonight. Enroll, advance, train. Let's eat, you all. Who's ready to eat? Drop an EAT in the chat if you're ready to eat some of this knowledge, if you're ready to build your way to six figures in 6 months, if you're ready to break all of the things that have been in your way, in your mind, keeping you from success, keeping you from living your dreams, then I want you to drop an EAT in the chat. We're going to enroll, we're going to advance, and we're going to trade, right? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. I'm excited. Can you all tell? Absolutely. So here we are, Be Your Own Bank. Where did it all begin? It began with the visionary himself, Mr. Gerald D. Rogers. See, back in January of 2018, he sat down and shared his vision of being our own bank, equipping and empowering countless lives across the globe so we could take advantage of something that had been hidden in plain sight, and that's this skill set. And tonight, you're going to walk away knowing exactly how to implement the skill set, and then all you have to do is practice, right? He's a business success coach and mentor. He mentors me and coaches me on a daily basis. That's invaluable, ladies and gentlemen. Why? Because he brings 25 years of investment banking to the table. He's able to share information with me that blows me away on a daily basis. He has a background in mortgage lending, both in the residential and commercial space. He's a real estate developer. As a matter of fact, working on a deal right now, 1,000 acres for a solar farm. So he's always taking himself and whoever's attached to him to the next level. Then we have none other than Tasha M. Dyer, the trade whisperer herself, creator of the BYOB cash out strategy. She's been able to take a skill set, simplify it so that a 6-year-old all the way to 86 can learn the skill and take profit, breaking the chains that we've had in our lives financially. She's a retired major from the U.S. Army, and she actually traded for the military. So do you think she knows what she's doing? Absolutely. They're not going to let you trade for the military and you don't know what you're doing, right? She's a licensed financial advisor, real estate professional. She has 2 MBAs, leadership, human resource management. She's been recognized as Officer of the Year. I could go on and on and on, but if you tuned in to her this morning or on the radio broadcast today, you know she's a leader's leader. She makes no excuses. She gets the job done, and she's willing to make sure that we all are equipped to do the things we truly desire to do, and that's to live our lives with purpose and passion. And then we have Dr. Craig Bythwood, the finance doctor. He has his PhD in finance and economics. He is a consultant to CEOs and CFOs. What does that mean? He tells millionaires what they need to do to advance their fortune. He has been a CFO himself. He's a professor. He's a single dad. He loves his daughters. He's a girls basketball coach. He spends time making sure he pours into us and answers any financial question that we have twice a week, tonight and on Thursday. Well, not this Thursday, but most Thursday evenings. He's on making sure that we are ready and equipped for this money that is going to be just sent to us from the trading heavens, right? Because we're mastering this skill. We're mastering our mindset. We're mastering our patience so we can profit. And he has done his dissertation on bank mergers and acquisitions. So that means that he's been behind the scenes of big banks as well. And he's sharing with us trade secrets so that we can take our finances to the next level. And the 3 of these individuals, they've co-authored a book called Be Your Own Bank, Hidden in Plain Sight. You can pick up the book on Amazon or on our website, BYOB Movement LLC.com. Go on there, order your book, order multiple books, give them away as stocking stuffers. Why? Because this is the gift that will keep on giving. And then we have our second generation. Why do we need a second generation? To carry to the torch, right? The purpose of leadership is to duplicate yourself. If you call yourself a leader, nobody's following you, no one's duplicating and sharing your message or taking your message to the next level, you're not leading, you're just taking a walk. So here we are, we have the second generation of leaders. We have none other than Mr. Antoine Sims, the industry precisionist. He teaches us how to take profit in the market when we see the US 30 moving, when we see the S&P 500 moving or the NASDAQ moving. He's perfected that skill. He brought his talents from corporate America, where he was a regional vice president in the restaurant industry, responsible for hundreds of millions of dollars of sales, a true professional, huge heart. And then I talked to you all about Joseph Washington, the pastor, the personal development guru, BYOB average breaker. We already know what he brings to the table. And then we have Miss Tanya Perry. She is our crypto igniter. She's our crypto educator with 31 41 years of financial professionalism. She's a missionary. She teaches at her church every single week a class, a trading class, to make sure she's empowering and uplifting the kingdom. And then we have Miss Bonita Brantley, our trading diva, HFX sniper. She has her master's degree. She's a project manager. She's an inventor. She's a fashion designer. But guess what? She can show you how to enter a trade and take profit in 3 minutes. That's why we call her the sniper, with binary options. And then yours truly, I am the pit master, the master of BYO basics, taking everything, simplifying it. Let's kiss tonight. Let's keep it super simple, y'all. That is what I love to do in life. If you keep things simple, you will have joy and abundance. Now, Be Your Own Bank. It is the largest economic empowerment movement in the history of mankind. So when you think about movement, you think about rearranging, you think about momentum, right? So we are part of something that history books will write about. We had the civil rights movement, we had the women's rights movement. Now the time has come for an economic movement. We are carrying the torch, we're taking the baton and running with it and walking out the dream that Martin Luther King had of economic empowerment. I love that part, right? We have an honor, we have a responsibility to honor Martin Luther King Jr. by doing what we do best, and that is equipping and empowering others to be financially free. The time has come. We live in a capitalistic society. If you're not free financially, you're not free in any area of your life in this society. So we have a mission and we're pushing it forward. And here we are. What is our vision? It's very clear. 2 million families financially educated and empowered and impacted by March 28th, 2022. What are we going to do? Enroll in the academy, learn the skill, and take profit. We're going to eat. We're going to enroll, advance, and trade. We're eating here for Thanksgiving Eve, right? All right. So how does this all begin? It begins by realizing this: you can't compartmentalize success. Either you're successful in every area of your life or you're not successful at all. So it starts in your mind. It starts with your thoughts, what you believe, what you're saying to yourself. Because when you have a positive mindset, then you give off positive vibes. And when you give off positive vibes, you will live a positive life and you'll attract everything that you desire. So you never want to say anything out of your mouth that you don't want to happen, that you don't want to see come to fruition. Why? Because words are creative. And so we need to train ourselves to say the things that we want to happen and not give any energy to things that we don't want to take place. So what do we do when we're starting our day? As it relates to our trading day, we affirm ourselves as a master trader. So we let ourselves know, listen, I am a BYOB master trader. I am the signal. All my trades end in profit. I'm an educated trader. Therefore, I'm a profitable trader. I am 777. What does that mean? I am profit, right? I'm anointed for wealth. I am a billionaire. Say that with me to yourselves, even though I can't hear you. Say it out loud at your home, wherever you are. I am a billionaire, right? Wouldn't you love to create your future in advance by just speaking it first, and then you'll believe it, and then you'll see it, right? So as we pursue this skill set, it is so very important that we have an understanding of why we're doing what we're doing. Dr. Craig Bythwood says it all the time. It's a Bythwoodism. If you know what you're doing, you will always have a job. That's what the traditional educational system teaches us how to do, is to memorize things. But when you have an understanding and you know why you're doing what you're doing, you will always be the boss. So we want you to know why you're doing what we're doing. We could point out the indicators on the chart and not give you an explanation, but when you know why, you feel empowered. So let's talk about these very few important terms right here. We want to start by talking about or defining an indicator. An indicator is simply a tool used to predict future prices. So when we're trading, and let's talk about the difference between trading and investing. Investing is what we're all taught to do. Get an IRA, a CD, a mutual fund, 401k plan, etc., where you purchase an asset and you want that asset to continue to increase in value. But we all know that as an asset increases, it decreases. Then it increases, then it decreases. There are waves in the market. And if a recession hits, then you could be placed 10, 20 years behind schedule if price drops or dips, right? So we are trading. We are analyzing the movement of price of these assets. So when price increases in value, we can take profit. When price decreases in value, we can also take profit. So we use indicators or tools that assist us in predicting future prices. What are these indicators called? The first one is the stochastic. This is our leading indicator. The stochastic, it measures the momentum of price and gives clues about trend shifts. So when we're looking at price on the chart, which we'll do in just a moment, price is either going to be going up, down, or sideways. When price is going up, we're excited. When price is going down, we're excited. When price is going sideways, we're excited. We just don't enter a trade. We wait for the perfect setup. So just realize that the stochastic is the leading indicator. Why do we call it the leading indicator? Because we look at the stochastic first before we make any moves on the chart. Before we look at anything else, we look at the stochastic first, and we identify when price is overbought and when price is oversold. I'll get into a further explanation of overbought and oversold when we bring up the vibrata, which is the chart that we use to analyze our trades. And so the Hikinashi candles, these are lagging indicators. That simply means that we look at these candles second. The stochastic leads us, and then we know what we're looking for, whether it's a green candle or a red, whether price is going up or down with the Hikinashi candles. This is a lagging indicator. They're trend candles that help identify whether the market is pushing an asset's value up, whether it's going down or sideways. And then you have the parabolic stop and reverse. It's called the PSAR. This is a lagging indicator that looks like a dot or a small cross that outlines the candles, and it's used to determine your stop loss, your entry, and or exit points for a trade. And you'll be able to see these things in action live in just a few minutes, but we want to give you an explanation of what it is you're looking for. So the PSAR, again, it's a lagging indicator. It's a dot or a small cross that outlines the candles. It's called a dynamic support or resistance line. It's used to determine your stop loss, your entry, and or your exit points for a trade. So here we are. We have the simple 1, 2, 3. It's just like ABC. Easy as 1, 2, 3, right? So you have 3 simple steps that Ms. Dyer, the trade whisperer, created to simplify this entire world of trading, right? We can use it for any asset, which is a true blessing. We're grateful for her for that and for everything that she does for the movement. And so the IML web analyzer, otherwise known as the vibrata, this is the tool that allows us access to analyze these assets. And that is why you definitely want to enroll in the academy so you can have your education and you can have your tools. So the first thing we do again is review the stochastic. That's step number 1. Consider this a recipe, you all. Thanksgiving is here. People are cooking already. You got those recipes out. You know that sweet potato pie recipe from generations back, don't you? That dressing recipe, right? And then you've got the potato salad. So we like to talk about the potato salad because we know if you mess up the potato salad by putting raisins in the potato salad, you're not following the recipe. So here we are. We're giving you the recipe to success, the recipe to compounding, the recipe to cashing out. all you have to do is master 3 simple steps. Can we master 3? I want you to drop a 333 in the chat if you believe you can master 3 simple steps and create a recipe to success, a recipe to financial freedom, a recipe to moving this movement forward, a recipe to grabbing the baton and making Martin Luther King Jr. proud, because we are moving his agenda, economics, forward, right? Excellent. 333. So let's talk about when we're identifying a sale. We use the word sale to indicate decrease because we're not actually selling anything. We are looking at the price of an asset decrease, so we call it a sale. So it's just a synonym for decrease in price. Okay, so when we're looking to identify a sale, what we're doing is we're following the recipe, right? We're reviewing the stochastic first. So the stochastic is a blue and a red line. When the blue line crosses over the red line in a downward position around or above the 80, then we know that we're going to be identifying a sale or a decrease in the price of whatever asset we're analyzing. The second step, we're going to look at the Hikinashi candles. So when we're looking for price to decrease, we're looking for a red candle with a flat top. And then we know that when it has a flat top, it indicates a strong sale. But when a wick or a line forms on top of the candle, like you see a wick on any candle you have in your home, it's just a little line that forms on the top of the candle. It indicates that the trend is reversing. What does that mean to you? If it's red with a flat top, then we know price is decreasing. But as these wicks begin to form, then the trend is going into a reversal, which means that price will eventually turn around and increase or buy. Then you look at the PSAR. The PSAR is a small dot that will appear above the candle with the flat top. And that is what we analyze on the 15-minute chart, the foundation of this strategy. Those are the 3 things that we look to identify first before we enter a trade and before we check for time frame confluence that I'll talk about in just a moment. Now, when we're looking to identify a buy, we're looking to identify an increase in price. So there are people in the market buying. So price is increasing because of demand. We're not buying anything. We're watching the price increase. So we use buy as a synonym for increase. So the stochastic, when we're looking for a buy, we're looking for the blue line to cross over the red in an upward position around the 20. And we'll show you what that means in the chart. If you have your mic open, please mute your mic. Got a hot mic. All right. So we know that the flat bottom indicates a stronger buy. And when I'm on the candle already. We know that when the line is around the 20 or below the 20, it represents a stronger buy. When we're looking at the candles, we're looking for a green candle with a flat bottom, and the flat bottom indicates a stronger buy. So when a wick forms on the bottom of the candle, it indicates a trend reversal. It's going to start, decreasing soon. So that is what that trend reversal means. The PSAR needs to be below the green candle with the flat bottom. So bottoms up, right? And then when you're looking at a sale, you're looking at the top of the candle. So that is the 1, 2, 3 simplified version of trading. So we just saved you, Ms. Dyer saved you years of studying, years of on-the-job training by sharing this simple strategy with you that she received from the creator. So now what are we going to do? We are going to pull up this tool called the vibrato. We want you all to see this tool in action, because then you will understand why it's a must that you enroll in the academy so that we can show you how to take full advantage of the strategy and full advantage of compounding your way to 6 figures in 6 months. So let me bring up the vibrato, and I want this to be an interactive call, because if you have questions, we want you to get your questions answered. Why? Because over this Thanksgiving holiday, you definitely want to be practicing this skill set. You definitely want to come back knowing that you can perfect this skill set. So let me pull up the vibrato as soon as I can identify here. Here we go. Awesome, awesome. Now let's talk about Mr. Gerald D. Rogers for a moment. He is our visionary. He is also the spokesperson for this tool called the vibrato. Somebody has a hot mic. Please mute your mic, mute your phones, mute your computers. All right. So the vibrato is a tool that we use in order to analyze the market. And so when we are analyzing the market, we know that we're using a tool that big banks typically use. And we know that because Mr. Gerald D. Rogers was approached by the developer of this tool to be the spokesperson. Why was he approached? Because of his background, because they knew, coming from 25 years of successful investment banking, he knew how to identify a tool that would allow for us to execute and become our own bank, making big bank moves in the market. So we need to be grateful, thankful, and appreciative that a gentleman who is seen all over the globe in 120 countries worldwide, because that's the number of countries that are connected to iMarkets. So we have representation all over the globe that tunes in and they listen to Mr. Rogers talk about why the vibrato is the tool of choice. So we are definitely connected to the source. We're blessed and grateful for that. So when you look at the vibrato, the first thing you see here on the left, these are triggers. These triggers help to simplify your trading life. Why do I say that? Because these triggers give you hints to look at different currency pairs that are moving, right? Different currency pairs where you might want to evaluate what's happening so that you can prepare to trade. So just 11 minutes ago, we have a trigger. And these triggers happen in a correction. So this currency pair is buying on the 15-minute chart. The trigger appeared because now there's a correction happening. However, the trend was in a buy. So that's telling you, okay, click on this, right? We're on, it'll take us right to the 15-minute chart for GBP AUD right here. You see, this is the currency pair here. And then you see that this is the 15-minute chart. How do you know that? You look up here. This is where you see your charts. This is where you select the time intervals that are reflected upon each chart. So what does that mean, a 15-minute chart? It means that every 15 minutes, you have a new candle that forms on this particular chart, and it happens every 15 minutes, hence the 15-minute chart. So this is a correction happening. It's been buying, right? And now it's correcting. So that was the trigger on the 15-minute chart for GBP AUD. The tool helps you save time so that you know what you should be looking for in order to set up trades. It's not a signal. So a lot of people are convinced that signals are the way to go. It's a handicap. So if somebody's not feeding you signals, or an app is not feeding you signals, you have no idea how to trade. I love this environment because we are being equipped and empowered so that it doesn't matter who's around, we can take profit and we can teach others to do the exact same thing. How many of you understand the power of learning the skill as opposed to being fed signals? I want you to drop a 777 in the chat if you appreciate the fact that you have mentors and coaches who are willing to pour into us so that we are equipped, so we can be anywhere in the world, open up our chart, open up our MetaTrader 4 and cash out, compound our way to wealth on a daily basis without waiting for someone to feed us something. We're fishermen. Okay, so that's the value of the triggers. Then we have the charts here. So I'm going to, with the BYOB cash out strategy, we focus on 5 charts: the 5-minute chart, the 15-minute chart, and the 1-hour chart. If you learn the skill set, when you learn, because you will learn, right? You're plugging in. We're going to make sure you get the information you need. When you learn and you master this, everything that you hear from Ms. Dyer on our live profit calls and on Thursday, it adds to your level of awareness and your skill set. But you definitely want to practice and make sure that you master the 1, 2, 3 step so that you can compound your way to 6 figures in 6 months, right? You learn the skill set, master it, and add to it as you go. So our foundation is on the 15-minute chart. And here, if you haven't seen the chart before, right here on the right, this is the price. This is the price side of the chart. So here you'll see the price, the real price, and then you'll see the Hikinashi price. I like to have the real price highlighted right here. Why? Because I have to squint in order to see these prices, but I can just look at the chart and see where price is. And then I can then see how fast the price is moving. You know, if there's liquidity in the market, it just helps me a lot there. So here's the real price. And when price is moving, you want to move as well. So we have, you know, GBP AUD setting up right here. It's in a correction. We see that there's a sell set up here. What will we look for? So this is a live trade, right? It's a live setup that we can kind of evaluate, because the first thing we look for is the stochastic. We are going to be looking on the 15-minute chart first. And if we're looking to identify a sale, then we look for the blue line to cross over the red, heading in a downward momentum, right? The second thing that we look for when we're looking to identify a sale is a red candle with a flat top and a peace sign above it. So we see that forming right here. I like that because we're live in the market, so you can see it happening right before your very eyes. So what does the stochastic around the 80 represent? It represents that price has increased to a point that it's at a high point, and now we expect it to turn around and go in the opposite direction and decrease in price. What is that synonymous to? So if you think about gasoline prices, you think about, I'm here in Milwaukee. Since I've been driving, and I'm 52, so I've been driving for a long time, I haven't really remembered seeing price of gasoline go below $2 since I've had my driver's license. And I haven't really seen it go above $4.50 either. So I know that if price is at $2, then it's probably going to increase till it gets to $4.50. And then I can expect it to turn around and decrease in price, because that's the zone, that's the area that price for gasoline has been traveling within since I've been a driver. So that is what you can think about when you think, okay, this price is overbought. It reached a high, and now we expect for it to turn around and decrease in price. All right. So here we have an example of the blue line crossing over the red, and we expect for price to decrease. The stochastic is pointing down. We have a red candle, flat top, and a peace sign. So that is what we look for on the 15-minute chart. That is what you must have. So if you're taking notes, I want you to write your foundation is the 15-minute chart, and what you must have on the 15-minute chart, you must have the stochastic for a sale pointing down around the 80 as a beginner, the blue line crossing over the red heading downward. You must have a red candle with the flat top, and you must have a peace sign above the candle. Those are the must-haves on your 15-minute chart. Right? Is everybody with me? Any questions, comments, testimonies? If you get it, if you understand what the 3 must-haves are for a sale on the 15-minute chart, I want you to drop M in the chat for must-have. Just drop a M if that makes sense. If you have clarity, If you need a question answered, I want you to ask the question, but that's your recipe on the 15-minute chart. You don't need anything more. You don't need anything less. That's your recipe. Those are your must-haves on the 15-minute chart, right? That's it, okay? So now what we're going to do is check for time frame confluence. We want to check for time frame confluence. That's simply agreement on the 1 hour chart and the 5-minute chart. If everything's flowing in the same direction, then that is when you execute the trade. So now we're going to go to the 1 hour chart. The 1 hour chart is saying no way, no how. Look at the stochastic, it's pointing up. On the 15-minute, the stochastic is pointing down. So we don't have confluence on the 1 hour, so we would not take the trade. Let me tell you what you must have on the 1 hour chart. If you wanted to enter a trade, you must have, if it's a sell, you must have the stochastic pointing down, pointing in a downward, the blue line crossing over the red, heading down, and you must have a red candle. Those are the two must-haves on the 1 hour chart. How many must-haves do you have to have on the 1 hour chart? Drop it in the chat. How many? 2 must-haves. That's it, you all. Don't add anything to it. Don't take anything away. So if you're taking notes on the 1 hour chart, the 2 things you must have is the stochastic pointing down around the 80, right? And a red candle, period. End of story. Simple, right? Keep it simple. Let's kiss, right? Keeping it super simple. So what would period? Exactly. Don't overthink, don't overanalyze, just execute. Look for what we're telling you and then just push the button when you see it, right? So now we're going to go to the 5-minute chart. Let's see what we have on the 5-minute chart. We have the stochastic heading in a downward momentum. We have a red candle. So the 3 things that you must have on the 5-minute chart, the stochastic must be pointing down or moving sideways. And you must have a red candle on the 5-minute chart. Those are the must-haves. So how many must-haves are there on the 5-minute chart? How many must-haves on the 5-minute chart? How many? Drop it in the chat. How many must-haves? Yes, 3 must-haves on the 5-minute chart. 3 must-haves. Well, 2. You're right, Coach. So you have 2 that you must have. But the stochastic, you could have 2 different positions. All right, but you don't need 3 at the same time. You are right. Thank you for that. So you must have the stochastic either pointing down or going sideways, one or the other, and a red candle. That's what you must have. Now, if you have a PSAR above the red candle, then that's bonus, right? You typically will, but you don't. It's not a must. You must have the stochastic either pointing down or going to the side, straight across to the right, and a red candle. So you have to have 2 things. I apologize. So just let's drop a 2. We have 2 must-haves, but 2 positions for the stochastic is acceptable. Sideways or straight down for a sale. All right. Any questions, comments, testimonies? Questions? I see raised hand. Drop your question in the chat if you have a question. If you have a question, drop it in the chat. Why 15 has 3? There are 2 must-haves. It's just the stochastic needs to be either pointing down or sideways. You can't have both at the same time. So there you have 2 positions that you look at for the stochastic that's acceptable. The stochastic for a sale can be pointing down or moving sideways, and you need a red candle. It says only 15. Only 15 has 3. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, only the 15 has 3. I'm sorry. Yes. I need my glasses on and I need to slow down. It says only 15. Yes. So only the 15 has 3 must-haves. The other, the 5 and the 1 hour have 2 must-haves, but there's 2 positions that you can have with the stochastic on the 15-minute chart. on the 5-minute chart. So let me make sure I say that right again. On the 5-minute chart, you need 2, but the stochastic can be either going sideways or down for a sell. Everybody with me? Any questions? How many lots and pips per trade? That's based upon your balance in your account. We'll get to that in a moment when we talk about compounding. We'll show you some examples. So we go for 10 pips and cash out as beginners. And then your lot size is going to depend upon the balance that you have in your account and the percentage of profit that you're going to be taking. But we'll talk about that during compounding. So we're going to talk about taking or executing a buy. So let's look at a buy. We're going to go to the 15-minute chart again. And what are we going to do? We're going to look at just the opposite. So we're looking for the blue line crossing over the red heading.
Stop being loud. Naya, stop.
Mike, please mute your mic. Mute your mic.
Your mouth better now?
Mute your mics. Mute your mics. Mute your mics. I got a TV. I have someone talking to their daughter. Mute your mics. So for a buy, you want the blue line crossing over the red, heading in an upward momentum, right? So this means that price is oversold. It reached an all-time low for this particular time frame, and now it's going to turn around and increase. So you have the blue line crossing over the red, heading in an upward momentum. Then you're going to be looking for a green candle with a flat bottom. These candles have wicks, so that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for the first green candle with a flat bottom and the P-star underneath the green candle with the flat bottom. Okay, so here's the P-star right here. Here's the candle that we're looking for. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop an arrow beneath that particular candle so that I can identify on the 1 hour and the 5-minute where price is to see if we would have entered the trade at that particular time. All right, I see a raised hand. Go ahead and drop your question in the chat. Drop your question in the chat. Questions. 15. Need 3 reasons to go somewhere. They ask mom, and if she's not in agreement, they don't go. If mom says yes, she tells you to take your little brother on the 5-minute, and he must be in agreement and ready to go, or you don't go until he's ready. Right. You just described what Miss Dyer talked about this morning. Yes, 1 hour is mom, 15 is the teenager, and 5 is the little brother. You know, so absolutely great analogy. I love it. It simplifies it and everybody can relate to it one way. Either you were the teenager or the little brother in that scenario, looking back on your life, right? So that is a great scenario. So here we are on the 15-minute chart. We've identified the 3 things that 3 must have. So the 15-minute chart is the only chart that needs to have 3 things going at one time when analyzing the perfect entry. So now we're going to go to the 1 hour chart and see if we have confluence. So this is what we see on the 1 hour real time, right? So we have the blue curving up, you know, then we have a green candle. We have the blue curving up and a green candle. Now, if you have any doubt about the direction of the stochastic, don't take the trade. If it doesn't look strong enough to you, don't take the trade. Now with GBP pairs, because we see this curving up a little bit, you got a green candle. Now that's when you would drop to the 30-minute to see if you had confluence. So here we drop to the 30-minute. We see the blue line crossing over the red, pointing up in a green candle. So you would be able to take that trade because the 30 confirmed where the 1 hour is heading because you got that little curve in the green candle, but you want to be sure you could drop down to the 30 to confirm. I saw another hand raised. Is there another question, comment, testimony? Question, comment, testimony? All right. Any questions about the 1 hour for a buy? The stochastic must be pointing up and you must have a green candle. The exception to the rule, GBP pairs, If you see on the 1 hour, you know, you got, I like when Miss Dyer says that, you know, the stochastic is kind of right here, but you do have a green candle. So now with GBP pairs, go to the 30-minute, see if you have confluence. You do. So you would then you would tell yourself, yes, I'm good on the 1 hour and the 30-minute. So now we're going to go to the 5-minute chart and look to see if we have confluence. Remember, the stochastic needs to be either pointing up or going sideways, and we must have a green candle. Those are the must-haves on the 5-minute chart. All right, so here we are. The stochastic was going up, it started going sideways. We have a green candle. Is that confluence? Yes or no? Yes or yes? Yes or yes? Yes or no? Yes, absolutely. Yes, yes, yes. So we would have been able to enter that trade, right? So on the 5-minute, the stochastic needs to be pointing up or going sideways, and we must have a green candle, okay? So now let's go back and look at the 15-minute chart. And let's see. If we would have entered the trade here, let's see how far up price increased. So we're going to click on our ruler, click underneath this candle right at the base where we would have entered. Take your cursor, pull it up to the top of this wick here that's green. And we see there, you would have gotten 28.5 pips. Your pip reaction time. Would you have gotten your 10 pips and cash out? Absolutely. So drop a 777 in the chat because you would have been able to go ahead, get your 10 pips and cash out. Now, where would you have placed your stop loss? Let's talk about where would you have placed your stop loss when entering this trade. So you would have gone back to your, I'm going to take this arrow off just so we can see clearly. So here's the green candle, flat bottom. Here's the PSAR. Put your cursor underneath the PSAR. Don't touch it, underneath. And you go to the right and you see the price in the charcoal gray box is 1.84916. That would be your stop loss that you would enter into your MetaTrader for the trade, and then just trust the process, right? Trust the analysis. If you looked at it and you see, okay, everything lined up, my must-haves are in place, then let it sit. Don't watch it. Just trust the process, right? All right, if we were going to be entering a sale, stop loss, I meant below, LOL, below the PSAR. Yep. If we were going to enter a sale, then say we were going to take this trade here where we see the red candle, flat top, PSAR. Let's just pretend this isn't the proper setup. We're just showing you where the stop loss would be for a sale. So you would put your cursor above the PSAR and look to the right, and that would be your price for the sale, 1.85420. That is your price for the stop loss when you're entering a sale. It's above the PSAR. So never touch the PSAR. Put your cursor above the PSAR and then look to the right, and that is your price for your stop loss for a sale. So that is no particular number. The PSAR is designed to show you where to put your stop loss. All right. Questions, comments, testimony. Everybody know if you're clear on where to put your stop loss, then drop a SL in the chat. SL in the chat if you're clear on where to drop your stop loss, where to put your stop loss for a buy and a sell. So that means we need everybody practicing, right? Excellent. Now, when you're entering your trade in your MetaTrader 4, use your phone. It's simple, right? So if you were going to your MetaTrader 4, you would go to GBP AUD. Click on it. Click on trade or new trade. If you were selling, just click sell, right? Go back and modify, put in your take profit. Modify again and put in your stop loss and let it ride, right? For buy, just click on buy. No need to look at this price and try to figure out what the price is before you click the button. No, when you analyze and you've checked your time frame, Confluence. Now it's time to quickly go and press the button. There's no need to write anything down, the prize. No, you go in and you press the button right away because you want to get in the trade as soon as you identify. Questions, comments, testimonies. All right, guess what? We are going to transition and talk about, what do you all think was next? What are we most excited about? Drop that number in the chat if you know what we're about to talk about and it excites you like it excites me. Drop the number in the chat that you think that I'm talking about. What are we talking about next? What will we talk about next, you all? Tell me. What are we talking about next? The eighth wonder of the world. The eighth wonder. Drop a 888 in the chat. That is what we're talking about next. The eighth wonder of the world. Drop a 888 in the chat. The eighth wonder, right? Compounding. Compounding is the eighth wonder of the world. Compound interest, the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it. He who does not pays it. The system that we live in, the system that we're taught, the system that we follow teaches us to compound out so that the 5%ers can remain on top. Now we have a skill set where we are able to compound in. And we are able to put a stop to that compounding out because we are going to be able to pay off everything that we're compounding out and create wealth, generational wealth, and change the thought process about compounding out versus in, and even just raise awareness about it, right? So here is our compounding chart. Here's a snapshot of it. You can go to our website and download the live Excel spreadsheet. So that you can change your balance. Every time you take profit, you want to change your balance so you can change your lot size. So in column A, we have the number of trades. There are 20 trades. Our goal is 20 a month. Just to compound our way to 6 figures in 6 months, you just need 1 trade per month. Your balance, start with a balance of $500. Your profit will be 5%. You're going for 10 pips and cashing out, which is right here in the F column. And then right under TP, you're going to ignore SL 15 to 20 because I just showed you how to figure out your stop loss. But here's your lot size. So your lot size for your first trade would be 0.25 because you want 5% profit at the close of the trade. So 5% times $500 equals $25, and then your lot size is going to be 0.25, right? So if you wanted to figure out your lot size and for some reason you didn't have access to the chart, you take your beginning balance, multiply it by 5%, you get the figure there, and you move your decimal place over twice, right? So this is your lot size. You can't take a trade without a lot size, but you always want to make sure it's the proper lot size so that your account will compound and grow. Okay, so now here we are, 6 months to 6 figures, 6 and 6, 6 and 6. Drop a 6 in 6, right? The number 6, the letter N, the number 6. 6 and 6, 6 months to 6 figures, 6 figures in 6 months, 6 and 6. We're going to start with $500. Just think about it, you all. This would put you in the top percentage of money earners in the country because most people bring home $500 a week. We're starting our account, $500, compounding 5% a day, 1 trade a day, 20 trades a month. At the end of the month, 1326. At the end of month 2, yes, 6 and 6, y'all. We are preparing for 2022 right now. Now is when it begins. Month 2, start with the balance of 1326. Then you start month 3, 3519. You start month 4, 9339. You start month 5, 24,780. You start month 6, 65,750. You start month 7, 74,455, right? Then Let me back up. I skipped the 6 months. I'm so excited. I'm moving too fast. Look, at 6 months, you got 174,455. Who's excited about practicing over the next 6 weeks so that in January, come the 1st, you will be compounding. And by July, sparks will fly. The fireworks will be in your bank account. July, everybody's going to be compounded to 6 figures in 6 months. Are you excited about giving yourself a raise, 6 figures in 6 months? Are you excited? Are you excited? Are you excited? Yes. Whoop, whoop. I love it. I love it. Let's get excited now because we're going to visualize what's going to happen. We're going to have parties where we're walking people off of their jobs. I just quit party, right? Educators are compounding, you all. And so on our live broadcast next Tuesday, mark your calendar, tune in. Share, like, make sure everybody knows that we're going to be talking about compounding our way to 6 figures in 6 months. Me, myself, and the master traders on the line. We've got Ms. Dyer, of course, Dr. Craig Bythwood. We got the visionary, Bishop Rollinson, Tritana Perry. We're going to be on the broadcast next Tuesday at 5 Eastern talking about compounding our way to 6 figures in 6 months. So make sure you tune in, make sure you share it, share the information on your social media platform so we can flood the cause. Wouldn't it be great if we met our 2 million mark by January? We would be in advance and helping so many people compound their way to 6 figures by the end of the year next year. And those of us who are already locked and loaded will be ready in July, right? What a summer 2022 will bring. And then guess what? You keep 74 grand in your account and continue to compound your way to 8 figures, or you can take out whatever you want per month, pay yourself a salary, but just continue to compound, right? Wouldn't it be great? It's going to be awesome when we're able to just say, you know what? I'm just going to pay myself $10,000 this week. You know, I'm just going to compound my way, or this month, whatever it is, because you will have options. You can opt to go to work. You can opt to stay at home when you master this skill set. Isn't it great to always have options in life, right? So in the beginning, it's going to start slow. Practice in your demo account. Practice, 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 practice. Perfect practice makes perfect. This is an example of what your account will look like. We talk about $100 days. How about $700 days? How about $1,000 days? Absolutely. That is what we're talking about. What's work, right? What does that even mean? There's no such thing as going to work. I love it. Absolutely. We have educators that are compounding. I love this story. Ms. Dyer talked about her son. He's 2 trades away from 6 figures in his account. He's 21. Right? What a testimony. Look at how she's changing generational wealth. Her children have no idea what it means not to be wealthy, right? So we want you to make sure you're in all of our chat, social media platforms. Make sure you're plugged into the resources, BYOB Movement LLC.com. Make sure you understand that our website has changed. This is our new website, right? Then the YouTube channel, tune into that, like it, go back and review some of the training videos so that you can be well equipped to compound your way to 6 figures in 6 months. Text BYOB Cash Out to 904-567-0634. And then your Telegram, t.me/, you know what it is. Take a picture, join the Telegram chat. If you're not a part of it, ask the person who invited you on to add you to the Telegram chat. Make sure you download the Clubhouse app so you can join that community as well. Enroll in the academy. We are eating, we're enrolling, we're advancing, we're trading. Enroll in the academy. This is Thanksgiving week. We got to eat. Zoom events, plug in, stay plugged in, and you will stay turned on. This is the link. You're on the link right now. Get the calendar from the person who invited you on and stay plugged in to get 100% of the information. Membership has its privileges with Be Your Own Bank. We know that we get rewarded when you enroll in the month of this month. You get a $500 hotel voucher. We'll show you that. When you advance your skill set, you get hotel stays, vacation getaway. So make sure that you promote for this month, right? Happy holidays from BYOB, a $500 hotel voucher where you can have hotel savings. And this is for the new members of our BYOB family through December of this year, right? Who wouldn't want this, right? You are going to be paid or gifted this $500 hotel savings voucher for simply taking your destiny in your own hands, enrolling in the academy to be your own bank. Trips and pips, you all. So text or email beyourownbankmovement@gmail.com. Proof of your enrollment, proof of your pips. Watch the video on the website for further details. We will impact 2 million families by March 28th, 2022. Enroll, learn, and profit. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed my privilege to turn this platform over to a gentleman I have nothing but utmost respect for. Before I do that, I am remiss because I need to show you why we are so excited about this announcement that was made last week, the prepaid card, our business card, ladies and gentlemen, our business card. We're able to now offer a prepaid card that legitimizes what it is we're doing. It speaks to the leadership of the BYOB movement. It speaks to their vision. It speaks to, the value that they bring to the marketplace, because we now have our own debit card, MasterCard at that, ladies and gentlemen. So we would be remiss if we didn't pull up the slide for that. I apologize. I thought I added it to this as my other slide. So let me bring it up really, really quickly so we can talk about how the leaders have put something in place to really seal the deal and take any excuses away of why we shouldn't show BYOB pride when we're out in the marketplace. So here is a new way to spend. We have a prepaid. If you drop a $sign, I just want you all to drop a $sign in the chat. This is our new business card, you all, right? So make sure, if you haven't gone onto the site, BYOBmovementworldwide.com, sign up. And I want you to talk to 10 of your closest family members and friends tonight and walk them through the sign up process to get on the wait list for this debit card. This is huge, ladies and gentlemen. This is why BYOB is so powerful. We set ourselves apart from anybody in this industry, even the Academy. The Academy doesn't even have an IM MasterCard. So we're doing it on a level that no one else does it. So you need to be shouting from the mountaintops how special this BYOB movement is, so that everybody can pull out a BYOB branded MasterCard debit card. This is huge. So make sure you reach out to those people, your closest folks, let them know, look, you about to enroll. You're getting on the waiting list for our debit card. All right. So with that being said, everybody on this line, make sure that you're signed up. And we want to make sure that we talk to our closest family members and friends tonight during the holidays. We expect for those numbers to increase. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed my privilege and honor to turn this platform over to a person I love, respect, admire. He's someone who has achieved something that most people will never even think of pursuing. He has his PhD in finance and economics. This gentleman wrote his dissertation on bank mergers and acquisitions. He has a way with words. He has a way of simplifying, making the message fun, memorable, so that we can all be equipped and empowered to be our own bank. He is going to write us our RX for Forex tonight. So please help me bring to the platform none other than our very own finance doctor, Dr. Craig Bythwood. Dr. Bythwood, are you out there?
Yes, I am, Miss Tanya Anderson. Thank you so much for your warm introduction. And every time I get ready to say something about you, it just pales in comparison to how well Pastor Washington just sets it up. I just love this team and all the talent and love that we represent. But I always say the same thing, and I always mean it. Every time I listen to your beginners training, I get something out of it. And I may not be a beginner, but I am someone who benefits from your wonderful training. So thank you for being a part of this team, Ms. Anderson. So welcome everyone to a talk with the finance doctor, your RX for Forex. And for those of you that are new, for the benefit of the 111ers, just a quick recap of why we're here and what the significance is. So our visionary, Mr. Gerald D. Rogers, decided in the beginning of this movement that there would be some value in having a conversation like this, where someone who is not affiliated with any financial products, however, but has information or knowledge about financial products, could be a good opportunity for us to take advantage of this fact. If you really think about it, personal finance is literally the only area of our society where the only people that share with you information about products happen to be the same people who sell the products. So the ability to be impartial, the ability to be objective, it just does not exist in that space. So this is an opportunity for us to do several important things. A, get a deeper understanding of this skill set that we're learning. B, get a deeper understanding of the macroeconomic variables that impact our trades on a daily basis. C, to have very important discussions about how we can use techniques and strategies to reinforce our mindset. Because if you are really real about this wonderful skill set that we have access to, anything we do in life, how you do one thing is how you do all things. How you do one thing is how you do all things. Anything that we do in life is 5% skill set and 95% mindset. Let me prove it. How are there people in our society who do the same job but have drastically different wealth? How are there people who live in the same neighborhood and have drastically different wealth outcomes? How can there be people who come from the same family, same upbringing, same house, same parents, same DNA, and have drastically different outcomes and drastically different results? So if we're real about it, it's 5% skill set, 95% mindset. Now, if you're like me, you're happy that we have a skill set like this. Because one of the things that Ms. Anderson said in her wonderful compliments is she said that I have a propensity to be able to take the complex and make it simple. And she's right. But I also understand the power of the law of vibration, that we vibrate at a frequency, we attract people who are like us. We attract people who are on the same wavelength. So it makes sense that someone like me, who has spent his entire adult life taking the complex and breaking it down, would align himself with someone that has a God-breathed strategy that I feel is the most simple one that's out there. The moment that you make the decision to participate in the academy, you're inundated with maybe 200 types of strategies. I'm saying 200, and if my number's off, it's too low. So you have access to 200 different strategies, and I really sincerely believe that this one is the easiest. And let me add to this. It's the easiest regardless of how effective it is, but it's so effective. So from a value perspective, because value is not about what's the easiest, I have this conversation with my children all the time. They don't necessarily do this, but some of their friends do. They want to choose the selection that costs the least. Let me find what costs the least. And I explained to them, who didn't translate to their children, to their friends, it's not about price. It's about value. It's not about price, it's about value. Because based on what you're paying for, what are you getting? So if it's easy, but then it's also the most effective, that's value. 92% accuracy rate. I've heard other educators, not just in IM, but just period, educators talking about the 4X process, period. In fact, let me go deeper. In my 27 years of being in this space, I've heard people who talk about the educational process of all financial markets, and they'll brag about 65%. They'll brag about 78%. So if we can have something that's this easy, but this effective, that's value. But let's go back to my original point. My original point is simply this, that we need to understand that everyone can have access to the same skill set, but have different results, different outcomes. How could that be possible? Mindset, 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 mindset. I remember having a conversation with a really good friend of mine about a year ago. And this person is a very good, intelligent, in fact, the person is an IT person. So you know how IT people think. So very, very intelligent. If I had a project to do, he'd be the first person I would call. Super intelligent. But when he joined our movement, he had a really tough time being successful and being effective. I knew what the issue was because I know him. Well, let me be more specific. I knew what the issue was because I played sports with him. And men, oh, that's so sexist, and you're a girls coach. Athletes, you can tell a lot about people based on the way they compete athletically. You can tell where they are, the temper tantrums, the way they respond to adversity, the way they handle different levels of competition. So knowing the way this person thinks, I knew exactly what was going on. So they sought out advice from me. So you asked me for advice, I'm going to give it to you. So one of the things that we recognize is that this person would always talk about taking steps to not lose. Well, I'm going to do this so I don't lose this trade. Well, I'm going to do this so that the trade doesn't hit a stop loss. So I had to make him understand that his mindset wasn't about having a profitable trade. His mindset was about not having a losing trade. Oh, but that's the same. No, it's not. No, it's not. Because if you understand anything or you get anything from this call, walk away with this. What you resist will persist. What you resist will persist. What that means is that when you push against something, you actually bring it into experience. Why? Because you're giving it attention. So if I spend my entire trading session thinking about being profitable, I have a vibration that is a match to a profitable trade. But if I have a trading session which I'm thinking about not losing, then I'm going to be giving energy to losing, and therefore it increases the probability that I will lose. One of the things I use oftentimes to make this point to people, especially life coaching clients, is I'll ask, what sport did you play in high school? And they give me a sport. Let's just use basketball since I brought that up. So they say basketball, I'll give them this analogy. I'll say, life coaching client, when you were playing basketball and you went to the free throw line and you thought, what if I miss? What happens? Every time they'll say, I miss. No hesitation, no debate, no thought process, none of this. They just know right away. If I go to the free throw line and I say I'm going to miss, or what if I miss? I'm going to miss. But isn't that interesting? That some of those same people that answer that question, they don't realize that in other components of their life, they're focusing on the opposite. They're not focusing on what they can do to make the shot. They're focusing on what happens if they miss the shot. So that proves my point. Because nobody that played basketball doesn't have the ability to shoot. It's not about your process. It's not about your form. If you have good form and a bad mindset, you're still going to miss the shot. So I said all that to say this. It is so important in this forum that we recognize how important mindset is. Now I'm going to pause on, I have an agenda, but before I go to my agenda, I want to pause because I think we just covered some topics that are very relevant to where you are right now, where you are on your process, whether you're a 111 or a 222 or a 13. What I just said is relevant. So I'm going to pause on purpose and ask if anybody has a question about what we just talked about. Question, comment, or testimony. Question, comment, or testimony. If you have one, please unmute your microphone. Okay. Now, today is Tuesday, November 23rd. This is the last call that we'll have before Thanksgiving. And Dr. Craig Bythwood happens to be a huge fan of this holiday. Being an economics guy, not all that much of a fan of what happens on Friday, but I'm a big fan of what happens on Thursday. Because what happens on Thursday is an opportunity for us to, in addition to all the other 364 days, to take this one day and to give concentrated energy to being thankful. Yeah, I know the food goes along with it, but we eat Christmas dinner too. We eat Easter dinner too. So there's no big, actually, I don't know if you guys realize this, but we eat every day. So don't act like it's about the eating. No, it is about the Thanksgiving. We're being thankful. We're taking time out to do it. Now, I'm not sure what you do at your house. I remember when I was growing up, everybody in the room, or everybody in the dining room, or everyone in the house would have to go around and say, what are you thankful for? We didn't do that Christmas. We didn't do that Easter. We didn't do that for graduation. Everybody had to go around and say, this is what I'm thankful for. So there's an energy associated with pausing and asking the question, what are you thankful for? And one of the reasons why I love this holiday is because that happens to be a part of my daily regimen. I'm going to say something I really want you to think about. Love is the second most powerful energy in the universe. Love is the second most powerful energy in the universe. You know what the first most powerful energy in the universe is? Gratitude. Thankfulness. You ever notice how many of the BYOBers, when they finish their prayer, they say, I am thankful, I'm appreciative, and I'm grateful. Now, we don't go around, taking credit for stuff because we all say each other's stuff, and I love that about us. Imitation is the most sincere form of flattery. But I'm just letting you know in this context, that's mine. I've been saying that for 25 years. I am thankful, I'm appreciative, and I'm grateful. In fact, I've coined it as a term. Tag, you're it. I'm thankful, T. I'm appreciative, A. I'm grateful, G. So tag, you're it represents the fact that when you are walking in thankfulness, when you're walking in appreciation, when you're walking in gratefulness, you're it. You're the IT. You're the I am that I am. You're walking in your power because it is an energy that literally puts you at a God space that no other energy, no other emotion will get you there. Let me give you an example of how I use this in my life as a father. 3 teenage girls. I have to change that one. 20, 18, and 16. My middle girl turned 18 last Thursday. So, I'm sorry, last Saturday. So, 3 girls, 20, that's copywritten now. Don't play with it, M, B, and D. So 3 girls, 20, 18, and 16. So you can imagine girls that close in age, what some of the daily, we'll call them dilemmas. Conflict is too strong of a word because I don't allow my girls to have conflict. Conflict is something you have with an enemy. That's your sister. That's your family. That's your ace boon coon. Ooh, he said ace boon coon. So I don't allow my children to have conflicts. But the reason why I'm bringing this up is here's something that I would do. If one of them had an issue with the other one, I'm mad at what she did. I would say, okay, pause. Tell me 10 things that you're thankful for. And when I tell you those eyes will roll so much I can feel it in my neck. And the reason why the eyes will roll is because they don't want to think about 10 things they're thankful for, because then they're not going to be allowed to stay in the space of being mad at the system. It is impossible. It is impossible to be thankful and defensive at the same time. It is impossible to be thankful and mad at the same time. It is impossible to be thankful and irritated at the same time. It is impossible to be thankful and frustrated at the same time. So I'm taking a page from my daughter's upbringing to show you the truth that just like them, sometimes when we're mad, we choose, oh, they don't want to tell the truth on the night, the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. Sometimes we choose to stay mad because, well, Dr. B, you don't know what they did. I hear you, finance doctor. That's a cute bow tie, but you don't know what they said. I don't know what they did. I don't know what they said, but I know this. If you choose to look away from that energy and to focus on being thankful, you just lost the space where you were mad at them. It's impossible. Okay, let me prove it a different way. Because somebody just came up with, discussion I had with someone yesterday. Wait a minute. No, that was this morning. The person said, I don't agree with everything you said. So I said, well, what do you disagree with? So they gave me this long list of what they disagree with, and nothing that they said was anything against anything I said. So I said, you know, what if disagreeing is an illusion? What if we don't have to agree or disagree? What if we just listen? Because when you choose to disagree with something, you've decided to have a judgment about what's being said. And because you're putting all your energy into the judgment of what's being said, then you no longer are open to all of the growth and expansion you could possibly get from it. So I don't know if you've ever thought about this. Those of you that have been with me any length of time, you've never heard me say, I disagree. You listen to my radio shows. You come to my calls. Some of you have talked to me on the phone. Think about it. Have you ever heard me say, I disagree? No, you haven't. Because what I'll do is say, oh, okay. Oh, I hear you. I see what you're saying. Okay. So to me, we over disagree around. He didn't really say that, did he? He did. We over disagree around. We're so quick to point to the little things that happen that we want to disagree with, but it keeps us from hearing the truth of what's being said. So what if you took my advice? And as you think your way through the next week before we meet again, what if you were to take the word disagree out of your language and just hear? And just hear. What if you were just going to hear? Oh, that's what you think? Okay, that's how you see it? Oh, I see. Well, I disagree. Now think about it. After I called the person out on this is what they said to me. Well, that's not all I said, but that was all he said. But I said, I disagree with some of what you said. True. He did say, I disagree with some of what you said, but he never said, I agree with the rest. We're so quick to talk about what we disagree with, but we are less quick. There's a smaller degree of quickation. Did he really just make up another word? There's a smaller degree of quickity with you saying you agree. So I'm suggesting, what if we operate in a God space all the time? What if we were thankful all the time? Because now we're in a position where we don't have to disagree with anything. I'm just thankful I'm having a conversation. I'm thankful that I'm here. You know, something happened on the radio show today that I meant to comment on and then I forgot and didn't go back to it. So on our radio show today, Bishop Harold Rollison, who's having a birthday on Friday, future happy birthday, Bishop Rollison. He made a comment about a sickness that we used to have, leprosy. He was talking about leprosy in the Bible. And he said that the lepers were not able to participate in regular life. He said many lepers died. He said many lepers were not able to participate in certain activities. He said many lepers had to separate themselves from regular life. And I'm tripping that nobody caught that. Nobody recognized that we just came out, we're in the latter stages of a global pandemic in which the same exact things have happened. And one of the things he said was they should be thankful because they're not dealing with leprosy. So at this moment right now, each one of us can do the same thing and recognize if you're listening to this, you did not pass away due to COVID. If you've had COVID, you've recovered. If you have family members that passed away, I so feel for you, but you're here. So there's a thankfulness in it. So nobody would get on a Zoom call and say, hey, you're wrong for missing your family member. You're wrong for mourning your family member. I'm simply saying this. My children roll their eyes because when they're mad at the other sister, they don't want to be thankful. They don't want to be grateful because being thankful and grateful forces them to have an energy that's different than the madidity. They want to stay in the madidity. Dad, come on, Dad, don't make me do this right now. And they'll say stuff like this. Well, can I do it later? Can I do it in 30 minutes? And watch what happens. I make them do the 10 things they're thankful for. Then I tell them, okay, tell me what happened. Child, please. By the time they do the thankfulness exercise, when they tell me what happened, there's no fire. All the emotional edge is gone. Oh, and they check themselves. They'll be like, well, I guess that really wasn't that bad. Of course it wasn't that bad. You didn't change what the sister did. The sister was still being a jerk. The sister still took your outfit and didn't ask for you. But because you operated in an energy where your crazy daddy made you say out loud 10 things you're thankful for, suddenly it was different. What if we celebrated Thanksgiving like this? What if we decided, rather than to focus on the dishes, rather than to focus on the desserts, rather than to focus on the football, what if we focused on walking in the energy of being thankful, being appreciative, and being grateful? What if you take the top 5 things that you're pissed about right now? Oh, come on now. Let's keep it real. There are 5 things. Oh, my bad. There are a minimum of 5 things that you're pissed about right now. What if you wrote those on a piece of paper? And what if you looked at each one and then did the Bythwood daddy rule and started saying 10 things you were thankful for? After you finish saying 10 things you're thankful for, look at the first one again. What if you went to the second one and then you said 10 things that you're thankful for, and then you looked at the second one? So what Craig Bythwood is suggesting is this. We live in a world that focuses on what people aren't doing. We focus on how people are falling short. I'm not talking about you, I'm just talking about society. But thankfulness, appreciation, gratefulness, it is an energy that allows you to put yourself in a different space. So we're going to have a classroom participation right now. It is 10:28. Everybody has an extra 30 seconds. So I want you right now to, with your mics muted, this is between you and you, I want you to pause. And for the next 30 seconds, I want you to say out loud 10 things you're thankful for right now. Go. Some of you aren't doing it. Do what I ask you to do. 18 more seconds. If you get to 10, keep going. Excellent. Now, I want one volunteer. One volunteer. Unmute your mic and tell me how you felt. If I don't get a volunteer, I'm going to call somebody. Volunteer, unmute your mic. Deborah Nevels, unmute your mic. Come on, Deborah. People are waiting.
Yes, Dr. Bythwood.
Thank you. How did you feel after you did the 10 things?
I felt happier, in a better space.
Look at that.
Positive.
Look at that.
Have to acknowledge that I am not where I used to be, but I sure as heck like where I'm going.
Love it.
And
what a great
that was
statement.
it.
What a great statement, Ms. Nevels. So we just stumbled across something. The next time you are mad, the next time you're frustrated, the next time you're irritated, instead of giving energy to what happened, instead of giving energy to what they said, instead of giving energy to what they did, do 30 seconds. Come on now, 30 seconds. It took you 30 minutes to call everybody and tell them what they did. I'm asking you to take, I just said something. I'm asking you to take 30 seconds and put yourself in a space of lightness, like Ms. Neville said. And I love what she said. She said, I might not be where I want to go, but I like the direction I'm going in. But I would like to add to that. Don't evaluate yourself. There's no evaluation. Just get in that space. So the next time you hear Dr. Bythwood, Mrs. Reed say, I am thankful, I'm appreciative, and I'm grateful, you understand where it comes from. I remember the first day Mrs. Brownlee at the time said something about that. And then every prayer after that, she's been saying, every time she says it, I just get goosebumps. Because I know that that's a transfer of energy. We can be in a thankfulness space anytime we want. So how about at each one of your homes, we take the BYOB movement's energy and translate it into our Thanksgiving dinner. I want each one of you to represent your rectangle at your dinner and share this information, share this technique, share this strategy with everybody at that dinner, and watch how we can impact the vibration of the planet just like that. This has been a talk with the finance doctor, your RX for Forex. Questions, comments, testimonies. One more time. Questions, comments, testimonies.
Dr. Bythwood.
Yes, ma'am.
What a great tradition to start, because it's so, and you know me, I like to keep it simple, right?
Yeah.
So we are going to adapt that, and then everybody's going to remember it. You tag you're it. Let's be thankful, appreciative, and grateful.
Boom.
And I think that because we are all here, what is 57 of us, and it's probably going to be, people have 10, 20 people. Just think about that and how it will attract people to the movement as well.
Love it. Love it. That's a beautiful thing. Sharon, you're making me blush, but thank you. Let me also add that there's a recording of a talk with the finance doctor from maybe about a year ago that's called Tag You're It, which goes in even deeper level of deepivity about this process. So one more time, any questions, comments, or testimonies?
I just want to say that I'm thankful, appreciative, and grateful for you. And every lesson, every time we come together, we go, as I said before, to another rung on the glory ladder. Thank you so much. Have a great Thanksgiving. And I can see that your ankle is better, even though you're sitting down.
Love it. Love it. Thank you for that, Mrs. Reed. I really appreciate it. Okay, so let's close in prayer. We've had a great short week. I want everybody to please enjoy their holiday. And let's really do it. Let's really take this concept and let's apply it. So Heavenly Father, we thank you right now for this opportunity. We thank you for this movement. We thank you for all of the individuals who will prepare the food that we will enjoy. And we thank you for the fellowship that we will also enjoy. Heavenly Father, we are thankful. We are appreciative and we are grateful. Amen. All right, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. And this will officially end this call.